We gonna take the crown, hold it down.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Feast or Famine with the Youngs.
We are the Youngs, and it is cold today.
Yes, it is.
Except it's not cold today at the same time.
No, it is cold
It's like
today.
40 degrees outside, which
Yeah.
is really not super cold for January.
I have layers on and I'm freezing inside here.
And the studio is not getting cold, which...
It's not getting warm.
Warm. Which normally I will turn off the heat and or air condition so that it's not noisy.
We're just rolling with it.
But we're just letting the heat stay on because I have it set to like 73 and it is just not...
I should have put cozy socks on because, dude, that dude was flying.
How do you fly on that road?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, take flight.
Anyway, should have put warm cozy socks on.
Yeah, we're there's like apparently some massive like snow weather front coming from the northwest, and like most of the country's gonna get hit with it, and they can't track it, and it's gonna have like every serious aspect of a winter storm all in one storm. But
It ain't gonna do shit.
we'll see.
It's not gonna do shit.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. It's gonna rain
Nothing's gonna happen.
in a couple hours. It sounds like,
This is gonna be ASMR.
and it might turn into.
Nothing's gonna happen.
You're killing me.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube, I have a Christmas present on. It's from Alex.
Yep.
This is a new fun fact about...
A new obsession that she's discovered.
Yeah, a new fun fact about me. I'm obsessed with the NBA, and more specifically, the Dallas Mavericks is my team
And
of
more
choice.
specifically,
What do you... What?
there's like a couple players that you're like all about.
I mean, Luka is like...
Luka what? How do you say that?
I can't say it.
Doncic.
Doncic.
Technically, it's Doncic because he has a little.
Doncic.
He's
It's
like,
hard.
I think he's Bosnian, and he
Yeah.
has the two like little accento mark things on the C, which in Bosnian means it's a ch sound.
Yeah, Doncic, I think. Luka, Kyrie, Hardaway Jr., they're all very, very good. Hardaway's just,
Your husband's sitting right here.
I know. I'm being respectful.
What if he sees this? He's not gonna see this.
Anyway,
Chris has said it before, but like
Luka is iconic. Like, he is such a good player. Oh my God. He
you know what I
is such
appreciate
a
about
good player.
him more than any other like top NBA player is that
He's breaking so many
he doesn't
records already.
care.
No,
Like,
he just
in an
loves the game.
interview-
He loves the game.
In an interview prior to his 10,000 points, which he got like one of the fastest to 10,000 points in NBA history.
Yeah.
But he said, I honestly didn't even know I was that close until somebody told me.
Yeah.
And he's just like so nonchalant because he doesn't track his stats like most of the world does.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about the Dallas Mavericks. But
This is also another first on the podcast.
Alex has his
I'm
hair.
not wearing a hat. This is, I
Yeah.
think this is literally the first episode
If you're,
in like 60 plus episodes.
yeah, Alex isn't wearing a hat. If you're listening on Spotify, he shaved his head. You should go look on YouTube.
Yeah. I have a Fu Manchu also. What do you think? Should I do it? Do you know what Fu Manchu is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a Fu Manchu. It's like isn't it kind of like a handlebar, but like not?
It is a handlebar mustache.
Okay,
It
then I
literally
was
just
right.
goes all the way down.
Yeah.
Like Hulk Hogan has one.
Yeah, no.
Brother.
Oh my God. Okay, anyway.
See, this is the type of intro we need, just like random nonsense.
Okay.
Sometimes we just like jump right in to the deep end.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a shallow end.
Okay. Anyway, if you're an NBA fan, chat with me.
Who's your favorite player
Yeah.
and why isn't it LeBron?
Jabron Lames.
LeBron James. What?
I don't know. I love the game. I love watching it. I love baseball also. Like, I love watching baseball games, but I think that I am more of a basketball fan right
It's
now.
a faster paced game.
I love it.
It's a much faster paced game.
I love it. I love everything about it. It's kind of weird.
Like it's fast paced like hockey is, but there's a lot more scoring happening
Yeah.
than hockey or soccer. Football.
Yeah, I am huge basketball fan now. Okay. Anyway,
Anyway, we have a topic today.
yeah. Today we are talking about something that we are very passionate about, obviously.
And that is photo video teams
Yeah.
in the wedding industry.
Yeah. So I think I think we probably always plan on like chatting about this in some aspect. But the direction that this conversation is going to go, I think is triggered by a conversation that was made in a Facebook group.
Yep.
Let's tell them
I
about
feel like
it.
there's a lot of conversations had in Facebook groups that have been this way, and not to knock the Facebook group, lots of value in that group. And I'm not even going to name the group because it's a really good group to be in. There's just one of those difference of opinions whereas like
It was a good conversation.
The opinion was given from experience.
Yeah.
So let's back up. We are a husband and wife photo video team. It's very clear if you're watching this podcast, you probably already know that. If you don't, we are. So that means we specialize in photography and videography. What differentiates us from a lot of other companies that offer photo and video is that I am the video side of our company. Veronica is the photo side of our company. Yes, we can both do both, but we are both.
We do specialize.
We specialize in
each one
individually, so that I am the video specialist. Veronica is the photo specialist.
Right.
Period.
Period.
And we have a team underneath us at every wedding. So there's a minimum of 4 people at almost every wedding.
Right.
Some companies offer both as one person, or not necessarily as one person, but they kind of split their expertise between the two.
Right.
Which is, I think, where this conversation came from.
Yeah.
Because I think historically, that's how it has been, which is why that's what we're going to talk about. We're talking about like the luxury market. And like once you get up to the luxury market, you never really see a lot of teams like this.
Yeah.
They're out there, but they're not very common.
So share what the comment was.
So the comment was about whether or not, should I say what the post was about?
Yeah.
So the post was somebody asking, and it was a video group, if they should separate their photography page from their videography page, even though it's the same company.
Yeah, and we're not going to go into
We're not going to go into
that.
That's very like,
convoluted.
Convoluted, and there's reasons to do that. There's reasons not to do that. And I asked several questions about like their goals and stuff like that, because I like to be involved in these groups and try to give my like I'd like to give some value and help when I can. And somebody that is in the luxury space already as a videographer,
successful,
very good work, made the comment that they were talking to another planner in the luxury space, a luxury planner, and the planner said that they would never hire or recommend a company that offers photo and video
to one of their clients. And
because, do you want me to go on to the next part?
Pause there.
Okay.
When Alex, I'm also in this group, but I don't really pay attention, really. I don't get on Facebook a whole bunch, really. So I just, anyway, it's neither here nor there. But Alex brought this post to my attention, and because of who this person is that made this comment, like I said, they're very reputable. They're very good at their job. They're already successfully in the luxury space. And so this statement coming from them was like a shot to the gut for me, because I was like, I believe them. I believe what they are saying.
I don't think she was lying at all. I 100%.
It was just really disappointing.
It is disappointing to hear that. It is. And by and large, I think there is that mindset in that level of the industry.
I think she's definitely right with what she's saying based off of her experience, because you don't see it happening.
Right. There are
you just
very
don't.
few.
You just don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's great that she's being honest. And the reason that planner said that, the second half of what the planner said was because, and this is very valid, so unbelievably valid.
And we've said it before.
At that level of the industry, they want to hire and recommend companies that specialize specifically in one thing. And by having those multiple offerings, you can't truly specialize in one or the other, generally. And we say this constantly, and we coach people on this, and all of our mentees, this is one of the first things we say is, if you are going to start a photo and video company as two people, you need to make sure both of your products are at the same level.
Yep.
Because you will be pulled down by the lesser of the two.
And I think that is the single most important reason why luxury planners view photo and video teams the way that they do.
They do. And it was when that comment came to light and Veronica had conversations about it, it was probably a week of conversations. And we came to the decision that, like, you know,
it doesn't have to be this way.
It doesn't have to be that way. And that really comes from limiting beliefs. But also, these planners are dealing with high net worth individuals.
Right.
Net worth individuals, sorry.
Yeah.
So they need to make sure they're doing right by these people that are paying them lots and lots and lots of money.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're going to be paying lots and lots and lots of money for your services.
So you should specialize.
So you should specialize. But it's an old school mindset to think that you can't specialize in both if it's done properly.
Which I think, you know, and we can't speak for everybody else. We can only speak for ourselves. But for us in particular, when we were reading those, we were like, it's not really fair to say something like that, because there are companies out there, including ourselves.
There are companies out there far more successful in the luxury space than we are.
Yeah.
That do the same thing.
Yeah. That, you know, we do specialize in photo and we do specialize in video. And
we're not splitting our time.
No,
between
we're
the two,
not.
because there's two dedicated individuals and two dedicated people specializing in each.
And, you know, that's not to say that, like, there's so many benefits to the way that Alex and I work, which is why, you know, at least for us, like, to a client's perspective, there's so many benefits on why we are a good choice to hire, including our communication on the day of, you know, lighting scenarios, what's going to be good for photo, what's going to be good for video, and what's going to be, you know, good for both. And that's not to say that that can't happen between two separate companies, because it does. And we see it all the time, especially in that space. You have to be able to work with a team, even if they're not from your own, to make sure that you are capturing the content and capturing the day the way that it needs to be, especially at that high level. So it definitely happens with both companies, but there's an added benefit when it's Alex and I, because we already have a system down. We know what works for us. We know what doesn't work for us. We know what works specifically for photo and specifically for video. And it's an easier flow. We already know what we're going to anticipate doing. And it's just a blanket statement that when you're working with a company that you're not necessarily familiar with, or you don't work with on a day-to-day basis, there's more conversation that has to be had. There's more troubleshooting that has to be had. And with Alex and I, it's not that way, really.
Yeah. And
because we also respect each other, and we know that each of us have a very important job that does actually weigh on each other, because, it's both of our companies. We pay our bills this way. Like, obviously, we want to benefit each other.
And I would argue that, unlike a lot of companies that do photo and video, at least at the level that we are currently at, I would say that we probably are the one that has the highest percentage of bookings among the highest percentage of bookings that are photo and video.
Right.
We literally only get maybe one wedding a year that is one or the other.
Right. And I think, one of the reasons why we wanted to talk about this is because we don't agree with this mindset. We believe very strongly that we are going to be the ones to
usher in this change
in our industry.
And it's not really even a belief.
And our community.
I don't think it's even really a belief necessarily that we believe that it'll happen, but I think even a step before that, we've just taken it upon ourselves to just
be the change.
Because sometimes when there needs to be a change in an industry that you are part of, Sometimes you have to be the one that does it because nobody else is doing it.
I think one of the arguments to this is, maybe the client wants a photo style a certain way and a video style maybe a different way, and so they look at different companies. That's to each their own. If they're wanting like a more moody videographer, but more of a like traditional photographer, whatever the case might be. I think this is just my personal opinion. If I was getting married, I would want my photo and video to be cohesive. And that I also think is one of the problems that a lot of photo video teams have, is that their look isn't cohesive. This is not a podcast about Alex and I selling ourselves, but that is one of the ways that we've set ourselves up for success, is that our products do look cohesive. They look like they came from the same company. They feel like they came from the same company. They both tell the same story in a different way. At the same
level.
Yeah. They both tell the same story at a different level, in a different way. Obviously a photo story and then a video story.
Right. And to preface all of this, it's not so much just the client, I don't think, that is creating this narrative, because the further you get into the luxury space, the more and more planners are the ones making the decisions on who to pitch to their clients.
Right.
So,
typically when you're in a level like that, it's rare that the client is seeking out on their own. They're hiring a planner to do that kind of for them.
Yeah.
So, we view planners as our clients as well. So, I think you're absolutely right. Like it's the planners that are not seeking out teams like ours.
Right. And
some planners, not all planners.
That is where it comes into be an issue, is that that this is coming from planners, not from couples to getting married. This is coming from straight from planners.
It's an industry mindset that has to shift.
And in addition to that, one other comment that was made, I don't remember who made it, if it was the same person or not, as a videographer or as a photographer, they wouldn't recommend or send a referral to a photo video team because they would see no benefit from it, because they would be worried that they would lose future business to that couple or lose the booking itself to that team. Which,
can you explain that a little bit better?
So like if a videographer is being asked about booking a wedding, like, hey, and they haven't booked yet, and they say, do you have any recommendations for photographer? That person is not going to...
That videographer is not going to recommend...
say, the Young's Photo and Film.
Right.
Because we offer video also.
Right.
And they'd be worried that we would end up getting the booking away from them.
Which is just not like... That is just such an icky... To me, that's just icky. Like,
it is.
It's not... Oh, this is so cheesy. This is so cheesy, but it's literally the opposite of community over competition. Like, we are all in this together, and there are plenty of inquiries to go around. So, like, to be afraid to lose a client to some, I don't know.
There are and there aren't, because, like, you got to remember that luxury weddings take place in the top 1% of wealth.
Yeah.
Which means it is the only 1% of the weddings are at this level.
Yeah, that's true.
However, in reply to that comment, it is constantly taught and I guess preached at that the single best way to get into the luxury space is to make genuine personal connections with these planners, genuine personal connections with these other vendors in this space. Now,
that's why people go to Engage.
With that said, for someone to say, I would not recommend a photo and video team because I'm afraid that they would take the booking, tells me that you are not sending that referral there to somebody that you have actually made a genuine personal connection with.
Yeah.
Because if you did, then you would know better to know that that person is not going to try to
Steal my client.
steal your client from you because you have that genuine personal connection. And you said, hey, I have a client that wants to book me for video and they're interested in a photographer. So I'm sending them your way for photography. If somebody told me that I'd made a connection with, I would not try to push them on photo and video.
Right. I was just about to make a joke and be like, well, obviously they haven't met us yet because we have integrity and we wouldn't do that.
Right. And that comes back to, we're teaching to make genuine connections, but are they really genuine?
Yeah.
Are they really authentic, genuine connections? Because
Yeah.
if you're worried about losing a client to a person you're referring that you've made a genuine
Just
connection
because you guys
with,
offer the same service or one of the same services.
then it's not a genuine, authentic connection. And
Yeah.
that is one huge thing that is lacking in our industry as a whole, not just luxury space.
Right.
Authenticity.
Yeah. Which is so ironic. Just saying.
What do you mean?
Because
That's what they're
because
that's what's being
because
teach- they're-
every single photographer or videographer has somewhere on their website the word authenticity or authentic.
Yeah. That's a podcast for a different day.
Yeah.
So like, this isn't a podcast to bash on that.
No,
But
absolutely not.
I think by and large, there is a certain stigma to the luxury industry, and it's always seen in a positive light. However, just like any other industry, it isn't without its issues. And I think this is one issue that, because the photo and video teams are becoming more and more prevalent, and that means photo and video teams that specialize in both and are so good at both are becoming more prevalent.
Yeah.
That this is a thing that is going to change, and it's only a matter of time.
And, you know, for a while, like when we were, like over the last several years, when we're trying to find people to align with or to, you know, be inspired by, we are never able to find a company that does photo and video the way that we do it.
And when she
there
says
is- there
align
is-
with, you
there-
mean
like-
like someone to like, because we have a general thought of, we want to have 3 to 5 people in our circle that are far better than us at what we do.
Yeah.
And what she's saying, what you're saying by this is, we haven't been able to find a company that is exactly like what we do.
Yeah. There's one, Wild and Rome, that is fantastic at photo, fantastic at video. They, in my opinion, I believe they are in the luxury space, just
They're
in the destination
they're in
luxury,
destination luxury, but I mean,
which is a little bit different than what we're doing.
and
but
we've become friends with them, but
Yeah.
we're at the same level they are.
yeah, it's very few and far between where we've been able to see like a photo and video team that is like at the level of White and Reverie or Jose Villa or La Rev. So, I mean, we're not trying to be arrogant about it, but we think that we have an opportunity to potentially be that and
usher in
a positive change for photo and video teams across the country and across the world. And a short little plug here: if you are a photo and video team under the same company, not necessarily husband and wife, but if you are, that's great. Send us a DM. We started a Facebook group.
We quietly started a Facebook group.
Yeah, quietly. We started a Facebook group. Can I say what it is?
Yeah.
Called Visual Keepsake Artists and
The Collective.
The Collective, and we are it's just a community that Alex and I decided, hey, this is going to be a small step forward to start a conversation and hopefully to build each other up, a place to have conversation and lean
A
on
safe space to have conversations.
yeah, lean on one another, help each other achieve and grow, and just change the mindset on photo and video teams in the luxury space.
Yeah. I was actually going to talk about that anyway, so
Yeah.
that's fine that you brought it up.
Okay.
What else was I going to say? I mean, so I think this is a different part of this conversation. I think one of the like limiting beliefs with not wanting photo video teams in that space outside of like the specialty nature of it, and make sure you're specialized and you're at par in each thing. And I think we have made it a point to make sure that we are we strive for excellence in both. So that's not an issue with us,
Right.
Because we're trying to get equally to the same level on both.
Right.
And I feel like we've done a very good job up to this point.
Yeah.
I think the other side of it is when you have these teams like Larev and you have these teams like Jose Villa, and they are specialized in one or the other. I think there is maybe a subconscious fear to the people that are trying to get into that space that are one or the other.
That feel like they have to just
feel
pick
like
one.
They have to pick one because A, they're being told by these planners what we said at the beginning, and B, that they will never get referrals from photographers or videographers
Yeah.
because
They do both.
they do both
Yeah.
for the same reason we already said. So it's like a fear-based thing.
Yeah.
And fear from getting the referrals from the others, and also those companies not giving the referrals.
Yeah. Which that whole thing is like really interesting to me because I think personally, which we don't know what we don't know. So this very well could have happened with other people and we just don't know it because the inquiries never came. But we often get inquiries from photographers and from videographers that are like, hey, I'm booked with so-and-so for photo, but they, said that you would be a good match for video or vice versa. So I think, and those are like local. So I think that these other business owners, like they know us and they know that like
We
we're
have
not,
a genuine,
like,
authentic connection.
Yeah,
with
we're
them.
not going to poach their client and like be like, hey, well, why don't you just hire us for both and screw the other person? We would never do that.
That is why we get referrals from those people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like personally, we don't, I don't think that we see that, but the fact that other people are makes me really sad.
Yeah. And I mean, authenticity, y'all.
Yeah.
If you really, truly believe that building genuine, authentic relationships is the key to getting into this space, let's be real and genuine and authentic about those relationships.
Yeah.
And it is a giant red flag if you're making decisions like, I'm not recommending a photo video team because I don't want them to poach my client. Because like I said,
Like, what does that say about you?
what, are you actually making genuine,
Yeah.
authentic connection with those people then?
Yeah.
Because if you are, then that's not a question. That's not a problem. That's not an issue.
Right. Right. And it's kind of speaking to your confidence and your beliefs in your own ability, in my
Right.
opinion. So yeah, I just think that there needs to be a change ushered in, and we are passionate about that change. I don't know, other than the Facebook group right now, we don't know exactly what it looks like.
We are going to continue doing mentorships
Yeah.
with photo video teams. We do currently have space this year. So if you are a photo and video team, rather than trying to pick one, if you feel like you're in a place that you can
do
both and do it with excellence and would like to try to do it with excellence and get to a certain level like we're at,
Yeah, we would love to help
we
you.
would love to help you. Just send us a DM and we can start the conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Initially when we saw this, I told you, I was like, wow, that just like really was like very discouraging to me. And for like a split second, like literally like it was a thought that entered my brain and then it exited because I was just like, I'm not going to allow that to rent space in my thoughts. I literally was like, what the hell are we even doing? Like, if that's how like that portion of the industry views our company, like, what are we even doing? It was so discouraging. And I literally maybe felt that way for like 20 minutes. And then I was like, F that. Like, we are changing it. Like, that's not something that I'm going to allow to be the mindset on how we do things, because I know that our company is not like that.
And we don't like
And we just have to show that to other people and show that it's a possibility, that it doesn't have to be viewed that way.
We don't like toxic mentalities, and that is 100% a toxic mentality.
Yeah.
And that's not going to discourage me from going into the industry, to that part of the industry.
Yeah.
sorry, I'm going to rephrase that. That's not going to discourage me from wanting to be in that part of the industry. What it is going to do is encourage me to make that change in the industry.
Right, exactly.
At that level.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I feel like according to that statement, we have already made it pretty far, I would think, within the luxury space.
That's telling me that
we've made it to a certain point, and I don't believe that we're done here. I think that we're going to keep rising, and
according to that statement, we're not. According to that statement, this is where it stops.
And that's not true. I just know that that's not true. So, anyway, yeah. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about it other than we are going to be the change of that mindset.
I think not enough people are talking about it. And
I definitely think not enough people are talking about it.
And this is us talking about it and opening that door and starting the conversation because it needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Any other thoughts?
I don't think so.
Well, like we said, if you are a photo and video team, A, DM us and we'll get you that link to that Facebook group. B, if you'd like to learn more about our mentorship offerings, ask about those. And C, let's keep this conversation going and let's talk about it over on YouTube.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts?
If you're not already there.
Yeah. So we appreciate you guys. And we know that this is going to be an uphill battle and we are ready to fight it. So if you're wanting to join our tribe, just let us know. We appreciate you guys listening. If you like this podcast, give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify, leave us a review. And
all the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's it for this one. Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Take the crown.